Wow, they're advertising gaming chairs. That's a first. All right, we got 50 people on already. That is friggin' awesome. Let me file my phone to the side. Let's ritualize some coffee. I got all the sugar. I got all the sugar. Doesn't that look good? Look at the zoom. Mad focus. That's some good sugar right there. You see how dark the coffee is this time? Oh yeah. Well, I gotta go down a quarter of an inch for it to disappear. Gary with the 10 Bananaramas covering the coffee activities. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I'm gonna eat one of these. Yum. I barely had any sugar today, so I need to stock up a little bit. What did I have for breakfast? I made homemade gluten-free waffles with some pure maple syrup, not the crap with the fructose in it. The stuff straight out of Canada, I think. I think it was Canada. Yeah, Canada or Vermont. That's good stuff. All right, I think I'm going to go for 5. Yum. So what do you guys think of last night's live stream? I did a no-talk, sights and sounds of Las Vegas only live stream. I think it's the first time I ever did that because I like to talk. But you know what? A couple things happen, and there's a couple of... I'll talk about that while people jump on board. There's a couple of reasons why I did it. But actually, I enjoyed doing that because it gave me a chance to read all the chat, which was kind of cool. It's something I normally do not get to do because it goes by so quick, and I'm like trying not to trip over my own feet and whatever. So I do miss a substantial amount of the chat activities. Let's get the foam in there. Yeah. And it gave me an opportunity to see a lot of things, you know? Like, it gave me the opportunity to be a little more, how would I say, artistic with the cinematography, which I rarely get to do unless I'm making a glorious 4K or something. So I got to show people things. I got to, you know, if you noticed, I paused a lot during the live stream, and that was specifically so people could take screenshots. I was lining things up from an artistic standpoint, so I had fun doing that. The other reason why I chose to do that was I wanted to do a little test as far as, well, a lot of things. I wanted to see how the audience would respond. Number one, would it be like a snooze fest? Would people dig it? What I noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, was the sheer sound of Las Vegas. Like when I'm talking, it's one thing. I could drown out the background. But being that I wasn't speaking at all, I think I said 5 words the entire time, but they were not to the audience. They were the people around me. Some weird dude, a couple chicks, whatever, a security guard. Just the loudness of Las Vegas, the ambience of Las Vegas with the cars, with the people, with the chatter, with the music, because I did get 3 copyright claims, 2 in the street. One, I couldn't even tell what it was, and they said it was like a 2-minute long one out in the street. You know, I don't know what that is. And the minute I walked in here, I got another one from, I think, the police or something like that. But I was kind of, I was surprised at the sound, the sheer volume, because I did go back and listen to it. All right, are we done ritualizing? I think we're done ritualizing. Blah. I'm going to turn this around. Whoa. Got to open the grill. And yes, we are at True Bar, my favorite coffee spot in town. And they're good people. Isn't that a cool cup? Look at that. give them some love, True Bar. So that sort of surprised me, and I wanted to see the reaction. Based on the like to amount of viewers, surprised me. The likes were actually up. Does that mean people want me to shut the F up, or they were just enjoying it? I don't know yet, but I don't really care. Did pick up more subscribers than I did the day before, which is, you know, it was interesting. So from a viewer standpoint, I would say it was successful. I know a lot of people like to listen to me yap and whatever, and I like to talk too. I would do it again if you guys wanted me to. I don't think like on a regular basis, but I would definitely do it again. I think the next time I did it, keep an eye on them guys. The next time I did it, I think I would use the poll, because being that I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, which I generally don't, I get into a stream of consciousness, I wasn't really concerned about much other than providing smooth transitions and showing you stuff that you might not look at and whatever. And with the poll, I could probably do an even better job. I mean, let me have some coffee here. I'm gonna take my pulse before and after. All right, sitting down here, I was at 74. Let's check it. Someone remind me to check it in like 15 minutes. So, yes, like I said, it was fun. But I also wanted to put YT to the test. I wanted to see, because they have several ways of punishing me. One of them is the copyright claims for stuff I can't even hear. What they perceive as. The other way they do it is to say that my content was sensitive and unfit for advertising, so they demonetize. The other way they punish me is once the video, there's a process. Once I click the off button over there, normally, if I was just talking about, you know, 5 best places to eat shrimp, they would process the video in about a half an hour and distribute it. And then, you know, I could put ads on, you know, for the most part, they put all the ads on, and I could generate a little more revenue for the next 24 hours or whatever, which is always nice. I mean, it's not a lot. It's like $6. I mean, my average live stream makes like $30, you know, to be perfectly honest. So every little bit helps. That's why I always say this is more fan funded, because left up to YT, you know, $6. Okay. So when they want to punish me, what they do is they wait. They make it go like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes they make me wait 12 hours. Sometimes, like when I know they're really jacking with me, they release the video for viewers to watch. Like, it might be available for some people prior to that, but they claim all the ad money because it's not technically published in their mind. They'll wait until 9 a.m. Pacific time before it's technically published, and they announce to my specific audience that it's available to watch. And that's the worst, because by then, nobody cares anymore. It's not like it's evergreen content, you know? People don't watch live streams the way they would watch, like, the video about, you know, what's going on with the Mirage. A live stream has a lifespan of like 48 hours, and then there's like no views. I could take it down and no one would miss it, you know, but that's a live stream. If you missed it, you missed it. If you didn't, you didn't, you know? So I wanted to see how long they would take. If I didn't say a word, I wanted to see how long they would take before they would publish it. Okay, so there was some testing, some algorithm testing. I wanted to see how bad they were to me. But like I said, it turned out I enjoyed doing that. So they did publish it much faster. By the time I got to the car, I already got the copyright. I got 2 out of the 3 copyright claims by the time, and I was near the car too. I ended the stream right by the escalators down by the Forum shop, so it only took me 15 minutes. So they did publish the video within normal parameters, and I'd consider normal parameters if I'm not talking about like, election problems and whatever. Half an hour, 20 minutes, that's about it. So they did. So they liked the fact that I kept my mouth shut, but they still gave me the copyright claims. So I'm just like, so it wasn't really a test because I never got to, and part of that, which was kind of sucky, is, let me get all the messages in place here. 88 people, where is everyone? Okay, part of the thing was, like I said, it was a test, and I think having the chat along with, because I was in there, that was the other thing that I got to do. I got to sit there and respond and talk to people. I'm pretty quick on the, when I have both thumbs going, I'm pretty quick at texting and messaging and stuff like that. So I must have dropped like 30, 40 comments minimum, replying to people and just making comments and, hey, look at this, because I wasn't talking. I was like, hey, watch what happens now. Let's keep an eye on this, So I enjoyed that aspect of it. But when you get a copyright claim, they kill the chat. Whenever you see, when there's a copyright claim that I dispute, they remove the chat as like an FU. I don't know why. They just remove it as an FU, Because again, that probably discourages people from watching even further. So it's like Pavlovian stuff you got to deal with YouTube. So it was kind of cool to have the chat corresponding with everything that was going on because it gave a lot of context, but that's not there. I checked, they wiped it. Anyway, I thought that was fun. One of the things was I wanted to see if chat messages were higher or lower. I do know, like I said, the likes were higher. The subscribers tended to be a little higher. But I couldn't get a feel on the chat messages because they were gone. By the time I got home, they were gone. They were just like, no chat for you, bro. So, that is that. Let me say hello to some people. I think that'd be awesome. And then we'll get into AMA, because that's what we came to do. I'm excited to answer your questions. All right. And like I said, let me know what you thought. I'm not going to make it a regular thing. That was a test of my discipline. That was a test of whether people would like it or not. I'm getting spammed at 5:45 at night. Shut up. And I was testing the YT algorithm. So, mission accomplished. However, if you want me to keep doing those, like I said, it was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed it, because it gave me, it gave me the opportunity to do some little cinematography, I thought it came out cool. I watched it. I put it up on my TV, even though it wasn't 4K. All right, I'm gonna say hello to people. I'm munching on some sugar. Yeah, I didn't trust that bald dude, I mean, I got somehow, by design. But that guy was just like, hey, I got some free show tickets. Bald dude in a trench coat kinda, and I'm just like, I've been trying to give them away all night, he's telling me, and I'm just like, I might as well be driving a van that said free candy on the side, That was a bit weird. Anthony from Warrenton, what's going on? Casino, Slot Couple, Carolyn, Great Dane Mom, Mary, Kyle, Janice, Bert. Yeah, it was Gary. It was kind of interesting. Like I said, you could hear people talking and like you could hear the conversations people were having. It was like being a voyeur on the Las Vegas Strip. Let's see who else is here. Yeah, and people did miss it. Yeah, I was going to break down and do like a half and half, but then it became like, once I started walking, I got fixated on just, working the gimbal and whatever, and I forgot all about talking. Kevin, what's going on? Venus, Tom Mac, N90, Angie, Janice, Kim Cohen, BSKY, Maria, Diano. Oh, and we got to see a rat at the Mirage. Not like a rat, like it wasn't ratting on anyone. It was a rat. It wasn't like New York City level rat. It was about, what guys would call 8 inches. It was about that big. Yeah, it was about that big. With the tail, it was like that big. It was funny. It was just cruising around being a rat bastard. Oh, demonetized. Sylvia. Who else is here? Was someone trying to impersonate me? Sounds like your name should be Ben Dover. What were we talking about then? Was someone trying to... What was someone doing over there? But I'm considered flattered if someone wants to impersonate me. That's kind of cool. That's fun. You can't compete, but, what do they say about flattery? Of imitation. Now, we also know. Alright, I think I got everyone. Anthony, I got Aaron, what's going on? Keith, Bubba. And you guys did enjoy it. Who looks like a Flash? Yeah, he looked like the bald dude with the trench coat. Yeah, that was a little bit weird. And I was just like, nah, I'm kind of busy right now. I didn't know what to say. No, you look kind of creepy. Hey, want to come up to my room and get those show tickets? I'm just like, no. Oh, yeah, that's cool too. Stuart, what's going on? Yeah, whenever you see like a troll or whatever, don't just block them or whatever. Just report their dumb asses too, because they do track the IPs, even if they're using a VPN. It doesn't matter. Marcel. Yeah, I got my voice fixed. I'm not on. What is that? What do they call that? Vow of silence. Not a vow of silence, nor celibacy. So I'm good. Porno. Point. How do you pronounce that with the squiggle on top? I'm just gonna call you 888. I'll figure that out later. Alright, Double Eagles in the house. Alright, everyone's here. We got 105 people on. So, I'm gonna invite everyone to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, super thanks is always awesome, because my channel, for all intents and purposes, statistically 97% is fan funded. So I do appreciate it. It's you guys out there that make me out here possible. So thank you very much for that. And you can click on links and do all the stuff. AMA time. So, this is where you get to ask me anything, and I do mean anything. If it's something a little, perhaps too personal, I'll still answer it, but I'll dance around it a little bit. I will not answer, let's see, what is my driver's license, social security number, date of birth, credit card. There's another one. Oh, home address. Yeah, I won't answer nothing like that, because obviously there's freaks out there. Actually, the freaks out there are probably my best customers, because they watch everything, like start to finish, like 4 or 5 times, which is cool. So I appreciate you guys, you weirdos out there. All right, let's get started. 10 banana rounders from Joe Q, some AMA grease. I do appreciate that. Oh, the last song that got stuck in my head. That's so weird. That's so weird. That just happened. Thank you, Tom. I was humming. What the heck was it? It was a Christmas song, believe it or not. I just could, it would not go away. And now I can't get it to the forefront of my mind, but I will think of it. There's a clock up in my kitchen that on the top of the hour, it plays Christmas music. Like it plays like 12 different songs as it goes around. And I'm gonna leave it up. My Christmas tree is still up. I love having my Christmas tree up. It makes me feel good. But I will remember, one of those I could not get out of my head. I just kept humming it and humming it. I will think about it in a minute. I do appreciate that. What is my dream car, past or present? That is a good question. Super chatter questions do get prioritized. Well, other questions I'll still answer, but it's as I see them perhaps, or if I think it's good content, if it's something I can elaborate on. My past dream car would be an Avante. This would be two. An Avante or a Superbird. You know, the Dodge Superbird with the Hemi and the big ass wing on the back. Abso-friggin-lutely all day long. Modern vehicles, I would have to, they're not sports cars, because, I mean, the concept of getting in and out of like some little tiny thing doesn't really appeal to me. A big ass range, like a Town and Country or a Super H Range Rover, you know, one of them supercharged ones that falls apart in like 3 years. One of those. that would be me all friggin' day long. I would love getting in and out of a range every day. Come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm into like supercars and all that type of stuff, but I just don't like getting in and out of them, and I don't like being low. I'm a much better driver when I'm high, you know? Not high, but when I'm like off the ground. But they go fast too, you know? They got like the Lamborghini SUV. What if we, you know, haul lumber in that thing or something? I don't know. That thing hauls ass. The range, you know, like the H range, that thing's got a blower. You know, it get up to 150, you know? So I'd get one of them all day. That's oh, and I forgot. An X6 BMW. I love X6s. They're just like deceptive. They look small, but they're big, but they're small. I mean, they're just so sexy inside too. BMW is just sexy. So if anyone wants to give me one, I'll take it. I'll pay the tax on it. Let's see. I had a friend who had a lifted, old, like, crew cab Ford, and it was lifted and whatever, and he was like 5'3", and he used to like have to climb. I mean, it looked like he was getting on a horse when he got on that thing. That was funny. A Mini Cooper. Oh, I just saw a Mini Cooper. I just saw a Mini Cooper for sale. And I was like, that sounds like a lot of money. They wanted like 14 grand for a Mini Cooper. I thought that was nuts. I mean, really, cars and all that aside, I would take a bus, like a motor coach, a diesel pusher, all freaking day. That's literally, that I would consider a dream come true. To live in a coach, have enough money to crash at a hotel when I felt like it, and just drive. Just not be in any one place long enough to be annoyed, you know? Meet people, do things, you know, be cruising along. I mean, they're just luxury. I mean, not like a freaking, you know, like a 1999 Bounder or something. I mean like a minted out, like Pathfinder or whatever. One of them ones, Monaco's, you know, 4 slides, cost like $400K a year old. Not so much a Prevost though, unless it had slides. I would do that, and just you're cruising down the road and you see like, oh look, Garlic Festival. You know, and I would pull over and check out the Garlic Festival and just keep cruising. just cruise the earth like Cain, you know? I mean, I think that would be the most satisfying thing in my world, because I got that Roman thing going on. You know, I like to roam. Yeah, you can tell. I want to see what's left of this country. Well, what's left? What I haven't seen yet. I've seen a lot of it, but not all of it. Fletch, what's going on? How about you go? Where do working? What? Say what, bro? Where do working? K what? Well, that must be a typo. If you ask me where I work, let's see. I have responsibilities outside of YouTube for sure. I really cannot talk about them much because, we're like, how would I say? We're in like deep startup phase, so I can't really talk about it all that much, but it's in the technology field. You dig the jacket? Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, believe it or not, what is that? That's a starter. I mean, that starter is like, that's not really a brand anymore, but I was like, that blue looks freaking hot, you know? Let's face it, right? The collar ain't that high, but I dug the color, and it was, relatively reasonable. Let's see, that cushion fabric behind you is off. Yeah, ain't it? It's kind of like pukey looking. I'm not going to disagree with that. Where are all the working ladies hanging out? These days, I would say you will see the most at Aria and the Win. As much as I love the Win, and this ain't knocking the Win, they do not keep the working girls under control. However, the working girls at the Win do their best to blend in as much as possible. It's kind of hard to play Guess Who's the Hoe at the Win. You can play Guess Who the Hoe at Aria is in a heartbeat, because it's just like, yeah, you won. That eye contact that lasted a little too long, so I know you. But at the Win, they're a little more, I wouldn't say sophisticated, but they're a little more cautious. You don't want to get 86 from the Win, because that's where, money dudes are. But yeah, now you know. I mean, other than that, just go down to New Orleans if, you want like a, $10 one. Would I quit drinking coffee for $10K? $10K a year? $10K overall? Let me take a sip and think about that. We're gonna need a refill. Let me see. No, not for 10K. It'd have to be more than 10K. I mean, it's one of the pleasures of my life. Some might say it's a vice, but I consider it a pleasure in my life. So I have, my life consists of work and sleep. And if I get up in the middle of the night, I do some work, and then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up and I do some more work. I don't even take vacations, so to give up, one of the small little like respites in my life of sitting down and having a cup of coffee and whatever for 10 grand, it wouldn't be worth it. No. So the answer is no. You cannot. Yeah, no. 10 grand, maybe 100 grand. Man, I don't even know if honestly, I don't even know, not that I'm rich or nothing. 100 grand would like definitely change a lot in my life, but I don't even think I'd give up coffee for 100 grand. Because like I said, it's like one of the little respites I have in life, It'd be like, hey, can I buy your dog for 10 grand? I'd be like, F you. I mean, granted, coffee and a dog is two different spectrums, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, maybe if it was like an annual thing, or like by the week, I might consider it. I don't know. You know what I'm digging? There's the concrete convention and the SHOT Show is in town. And there's a lot of like freaking burly, macho dudes, you know? That's freaking cool to see. That might sound weird coming from a dude, but it's cool to see other men, like men. You know, no freaking, you know what I'm saying? Do I have to explain it? It's cool to see other men, you know? So, yeah. Alright, let me get back over there. Bror, how do you have time for family, friends, and special friends? I know what you're saying there. How would I say? To keep up with me and my lifestyle. And thank you for the 5 banana rabbits. Alright, I'll put it out there. I'll just say it simple. This may sound dickish, but it's not, you know? Someone has to step into my frame to, like, at this stage, and even when I was younger or whatever, I have, you know, people have a frame, you know? Like, I live in this frame right here. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Hang that shit on your wall. Now, if you want to step into my frame and be in my picture and walk side by side with me in life, whether as friend or whatever you want to call it, family, you gotta kind of know what you're getting into, you know? You gotta sort of, you gotta kind of be in my frame, you know? Like the whole concept of, you know, like what women say now, oh, I want a partner. Partner this. You know, what is that, a partner? No, a woman's supposed to step into your frame as a man. And guys, if you don't have a frame, go find one, you know? Go, you can't not have a framework in your life. You know, what are you about? You're just some dude waiting to die? Get old and die? What's your frame? You know, I know what my frame is. Hard work, ambition, achieving, you know, improving every day, being a gentleman, gaining knowledge, gaining insight, gaining wisdom, spreading it to others. That's my frame, you know? So if you want to step in the world, you gotta either be okay with my frame, assist me in my frame, and when I say assist, I don't mean like I need a partner, which is so vogue. Oh, we're gonna be partners in life. No, we're not. No, we're not. You know, I'm just doing just fine without, you know, a partner. If you want to come in and enhance my life and, you know, add some spice to my life and, you know, look good in my frame, I'm all for it, you know? And that's how men should view relationships, you know, the partnership thing. That's like having two pictures. Like, oh, you want to see our family picture? Here they are. Me in my frame and her in her frame, but let's put them side by side, and that's our family picture, but we're both in our own frames. That's never gonna work. That's never, ever gonna work. I mean, you could force it to work. You put a square peg in a round hole for 50 fucking years, but it's not gonna work, you know, unless one person is willing to bend and be inside the other person's frame. It's not really gonna work out. It's never really gonna be happy. I mean, that might sound a little but it's just what it is. So, circling back to what you asked, people who know me. I don't travel. I don't have a lot of friends. You know, I never, you know, when I was young I did, but I believe in the pyramid theory. At the bottom of the pyramid, there's a lot of bricks, right? And the higher you climb up the pyramid, there's fewer and fewer and fewer bricks, aka people. So when you start now, you know, like that whole bullshit song, which freaking makes my butt pucker, I got friends in low places. How is that a flex? I got friends in low places. I don't want friends in low places. That's the last place I go looking for friends, is in low places. I want to stay away from low places in my life, you know? sorry if you feel that way, but I want to elevate myself. I want to achieve and do better. I don't want to stay in the gutter and whatever. Whatever. I'm digressing. So, you start out and you have all these people and all your friends, and I roll with 50 people. But as you elevate in life, there's fewer and fewer people that you can deal with, that understand you, that understand the mission, that understand what it takes to get what you want, the level of sacrifice, that you can't go drinking every frickin' Friday night, because there's shit to do, you find fewer people, hence the expression, it's lonely at the top, So you find like-minded people, and then as you climb in this ladder of success or the pyramid, when you leave one level, the old level's like, they're trying to hold you by the ankles. They're like, no, bro, don't leave. You're one of us. And then you finally shake them loose. You might lose a shoe. You shake them bastards loose. And then they're like, F you, bro. What do you think? You're too good for us? So I don't have a lot of friends. I have some associates. I have people I can call friend. But I don't travel like in a big group. I keep it tight. I keep it like-minded. We don't burden each other with shit, our tummy aches and minor crap in life, we don't bother with that. We try to solve the world's problems. We think of ways to help. We think of ways to assist, and think of ways to grow, we pontificate on shit, like we're kind of on the same plane on a lot. Family, I don't have a lot of family either, which is good and bad. I have family, and I do see them on holidays. We keep in touch here and there and whatever, and, did that for Christmas. It was freaking awesome. But, yeah. So it's kind of simple when you're not surrounded by people, but, that's my criteria. Yes, please. Thank you. Score. All right, should I check my pulse? All right, hold on. They're already starting to blast the music. Come on. I'm checking my pulse. Oh, 96. So it went up 20 points from this coffee. That's cool. I can max out at like 155, so I'm not really worried too much. But did that answer your question? So people, tend to have to fit in my frame. I mean, it's not like my way or the highway. You don't have to think like me, act like me, talk like me, behave like me, agree with me. That's not what I'm looking for, because I like contrary opinions, except when it comes to morality issues. That's where I draw the line. If you think it's okay to do frickin' drag shows for kids in school, we're gonna have a problem. I'm not gonna be like, okay, let's just agree to disagree. I'm gonna be like, you're morally fucked. Get out of my life. I'll cut you loose. Like, wouldn't even think twice about it. Best friend, lover. Morality issues, I draw the line with. If you think, pink is the best color and I think purple is, who freaking cares, But morality issues, no, I don't agree to disagree when it comes to issues of morality. Not a chance. Kristen and Frank. What kind of coffee maker do I have? That's a good question. My coffee setup is getting like really pro. That's why it would take more than 10 grand to, Anthony, ask me that question again. I just scrolled back. That's a good question. Remind me to get to that. I have a Braun. I have a dual-purpose Braun. It does espresso on one side, and it does regular coffee on the other side. It has a steamer attachment, and it has the coffee press where you put the and it comes out the two things and everything, because that really, yeah, so it's a Braun, and it's a stainless steel one. I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond. It was like Bed Bath & Beyond, it's like 500 with a 50% off coupon. It was like one of those deals. And I have a Fellows grinder that I got on mad discount. So I grind my own beans per cup. Sometimes I do it like for the entire day, but I do it on a per cup basis. I grind my own. I can grind espresso, I can grind for French press. I'm all set. And then I have this other device that's a Cuisinart that not only heats the milk, because I like it heated because it gives it that taste. It also froths it up. It's got like a spinner in the bottom thing. So I'm set. And I use a French press too. So once in a while I'm just into like, and I also have an electric kettle made by Cuisinart. I do happen to like Cuisinart. But in this, Las Vegas has the hardest water. I mean, I gotta pour vinegar in both the espresso machine, the French press, and the electric kettle all the time, because it just calcifies. It just calcifies. Like, you need like a hammer and chisel to get the lime and crap that's in the water out. Even though that's even after I filter it. It's just brutal. So yeah, white vinegar takes care of it like that. Everyone, I'm gonna suggest you get an electric kettle. You will find so many reasons to use that. I mean, if you put your oven on high and even took hot water out and then went to boil it, an electric kettle, you fill it up, you press a button. This thing's done in like a minute, and the boiling water over there is taking like 10. It's an enormous time saver. It's not just for making tea. If I'm making pasta, I boil the water first, and then I put it in the pot and just bonk, and it starts going. For cleaning, it just saves so much time. Being able to boil water right from the get-go. I want to make some hard-boiled eggs. I boil the water first, then I toss it in there. But Cuisinart is the joint. The DeLong egg. I seen some ones that are like $1,200 one day. All right, Anthony, what's your feelings on life and death? I am enjoying your time now, because when you're gone, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. All right, Mike, I'm going to get to that in a second. Well, it depends. You see, it depends on whether you believe in an afterlife or not. I mean, God aside, do you believe in an afterlife or not? Because some people take it different. I do believe in an afterlife. So I know that when I'm done here, when my missions are accomplished, because that's what it's about. It's not like some cosmic frickin', lottery when you're gonna die. Each person's got some missions, and you're gonna be missioning until your missions are up, and you might have a last mission, but if you do good on it, you get assigned another big mission, but if your life is just ass and you're just sitting around, doing nothing with your life, yeah, then you're in the cosmic lottery. That's what I believe. But I know that the way I feel about life now is we're all living behind. If you have any sense of 102, if you have any sense of decency, and if you have any sense of morality, and if you have any sense of love for your fellow human being, it's pretty clear to see that we're living behind enemy lines. I mean, it's just that obvious. Are we not living behind enemy lines? I mean, who really runs the world? Do the good people or the bad people? Does good or evil really run the world at this point? So the good people, we're all living behind enemy lines. So I know for a fact that whatever comes after this is gonna be better. There's no, unless you're going down to visit the, that one over there, which I ain't. And I hope you people ain't either. So that's gonna suck. Turn a light sounds pretty freaking good compared to this, thing we're doing right now. But I want to leave my mark. I want to leave my mark on people's lives. I want to leave my mark on, I want people to speak well of me. I want people to say that, yeah, that Bror Fredrik, he was alright, he taught me this, that, and the other. It was always kind of cool to be around, to be an asshole sometimes, but, it was alright overall. But then there's other people who are like YOLO. Like, you only live once and then you're gone, so fuck it. Nothing matters. Doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter. Like, they will shelf the moral aspect of life because YOLO. Like, good and bad, like total unaccountability. Like, I always go back to that story. I went to Catholic school, believe it or not. And they came in with this, yes. My man. All right. I'm going to, I'm in love with that sugar. Thank you, I appreciate you. They used to teach fire and brimstone, like, on the regular. Like fire and friggin' brimstone. Like if you whacked off, you were going to hell. If you cursed, you were going to hell. Everything was you were going to hell. The white sin, a venial sin, a yellow sin, a green sin. It's like, who's keeping track of all this shit? So there was a period of time when I was young that I just thought, I was just screwed. So I'm going to hell anyway, so I might as well just do everything I want to do, regardless of people's feelings, wrong, right. I'm just gonna do me because I'm just here. And I think a lot of people have that sensation now, that YOLO, I'm either they don't believe in an afterlife or they feel they're screwed anyway, so why not just be as degenerate as you want to be? Why not be as slothful as you want to be? Nope. They live a different life because they don't, they have no accountability. So it depends what you're looking at, I hold myself accountable and I tend to hold the people around me. I'm not the easiest person to be around for one reason. Because I do hold the people around me accountable. It's not because I think I'm better than them. It's because A, I hold myself accountable. If I fuck up, I'll be the first one to admit it. When I realize it, if someone's got to bring it to my attention, that's a different story. Or, number two, it's because I want the absolute best for the, the people that are around me. Not to judge them, I'm not better, but I want the best for them. So I'm not gonna bite my tongue. So, what was the original question? Yeah, so that's how I feel about it, I ain't afraid of death. I ain't afraid of dying. I mean, I don't want to be like burnt in a fire or, fall off a ginormous cliff or whatever. But I don't want to go in my sleep either, to be perfectly honest. But I ain't afraid of dying. I just don't want to be like old and dependent and have people wiping my ass, That would kill me. That would be worse than death for me, to be perfectly honest. But I'm just doing my best while we're here. I mean, we're here anyway, so might as well just freaking rock it. Alright, this turned into a messy proposition here. Hold on. Any desire to go into space either on Musk or Branson? Branson, forget him. He's a freak. I have no interest in him whatsoever. He was on the island. So I could imagine with one of his rockets. That's why they look like a giant D, Because that's what Branson is, a giant D. He was on the island. So I have no interest in Branson. Musk, would I go to space? And that's good. That is good. I nailed it. On a rocket, I don't trust Wayfair either. I don't trust Wayfair. They got some weird shit on Wayfair. They have like cabinets with like girls' names, like little cheap frickin' cabinets that you could buy in like Home Depot for like $49. And they name them after a girl, and they sell them for like $30,000. Does that make sense? Same thing with Etsy. They got some weird shit on Etsy. Hey, you can buy this book with a little cutesy girl name on it. And it's like, it's an empty book that you write in, it's got a girl's picture on it. It's like $32,500. And no one's investigating that. We're going to talk about all this shit on my new platform. I'm going to prove some stuff to you, make your head frickin' explode. I go down the dark frickin' tunnels. Anyway. You're welcome, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, just live life, leave your mark. You know, don't forget that you are accountable for every one of your actions, you know. It's not YOLO, it's, you know, this is how I live life. I do whatever the actual F I want, but not at anyone's expense. That's it. And nothing in excess. Nothing in excess. Now, excess is a variable. Nothing in excess. You know, so if you have a vice, is it a vice until you go to excess? Can you love someone too much? Probably. That's an excess. Other than that, do you. Just don't hurt anyone while you're doing it. Just don't, you know, zero sum. Just don't hurt people in the process, but live your life the way you want to live it. If you're cognizant of that your actions have consequence, that your life shouldn't be at someone else's expense, no problem. And leave your mark. So Musk, like I said, I don't trust him because he's into tunnels. He bores tunnels for a living, and they find... name one tunnel where anything good ever happened. I don't trust tunnels. Neither should you. But again, we'll talk about that on the new platform. But I'd probably go with Musk's, you know, more than Branson. Forget about it. Not a chance. I don't even want to be in the same room with that weirdo. So, yeah, it would be a Musk all day. Yeah, I went to Catholic school in the 60s. Knuckles have never been this broke. I went in the late 70s, and my knuckles, Sister Rose Ellen used to just beat the crap out of people. She used to flame sharpen pencils, stick them in your face. She used to make us kneel on pencils with our books above our head. Like if it was freaking, like if we were on like a death march in, you know, in World War II. I mean, it was nuts. They were nuts. I mean, it was just something about that. They were some nutty ass people. But again, oh, we love God. You ain't manifesting none. You're freaking sadistic. You know, those people are sadistic. Kneeling on pencils with your books over your head. Kneeling on pencils. I went to Catholic school. Wow, flashback. Right in the Bible, it says, beware of those, you know, wolves in sheep clothing who tell you not to marry, like they describe the Catholic Church. It's right in the freaking Bible. That's why the Catholic Church wrote their own. And the word nun don't appear anywhere either. Oh, let's see. I do have the knife block. I do have the knife block. I do, somewhere, I have the knife steel, I have to replace it because I cannot. I know I didn't lose it. When I move and I move all my appliances, I'm sure my knife steel is going to be somewhere. But I have a Hinkle knife steel, so I had to buy another one, which is not as good. It still works, but I like to steel. I sharpen and steel my knives all the time. You know, I like them to. But yeah, I do have a block. Alright, let's see. Music's starting to get loud. AF. Alright, I had to fire up my chat again. Alright. Okay. Alright. See, I have no problem admitting or opening my eyes. Okay. Master Boss, the Underground Railroad. You're 100% correct. That was one underground tunnel that I would get on board with all friggin' day, you know? That's cool. Saved a lot of people's lives, did a lot of good. Abso-freaking-lutely. The Underground Railroad. So I stand corrected. Not all tunnels are crafty, but for the most part, they're crafty. But thank you for bringing that to my attention. Thank you. Yeah, Branson is a hippie, but like I said, he's also been to the island, and you know what island I'm talking about. He's all over that island, and he's all over that flight logs, and he's got his own planes, so he didn't have to be freaking cruising on one of theirs. You know what I'm saying? There's pictures of him on the island, so screw him. No, well, don't screw him. You went to catechism. Oh my God. I told my parents that I didn't get it, and they said, "Okay, wow, that was pretty cool about them." Huh. Yeah, I remember that memorization, catechism stuff. Oh man. But see, that whole Catholic school experience was rather negative. You know, they were some sadistic nuns in there. They had like a violent streak. Sister Rosella used to take ping pong paddles and she used to peel the rubber off. I remember this as a kid. That way they were raw wood, and she used to smack the shit out of people. She broke a paddle on one of my buddies. This guy, Mikey D. I forgot. I'm not gonna say his last name. And she had another one ready to go, rubber peeled off and everything, to beat children with. Now, is that any better now than doing drag shows for children? So if you couldn't beat it into them, might as well expose. Which is more devilish? I don't know. Yeah, I do talk about things outside the lines. Oh yeah. Virgin Airways. Yeah. What is my favorite vacation place? Mountains, beach, desert, cruise. Do you take vacations you're always on? Donna Turner. I haven't taken a vacation in probably 2 decades, if I'm honest. Maybe 3. It's not something I do. I take busman holidays whenever I can. You know, that always kind of, the expression. If they correspond with what I happen to have going on, but for the most part, I'm just not a sit still. It's not like I haven't had opportunities. I'm just not like a sit still kind of, like my idea of a vacation, to be perfectly honest, would be like only getting out of bed to eat and piss for like a week. That would be a vacation. So I'm gonna, step it up a notch and go hire a Sherpa and climb Mount Everest, for a vacation. No, my life is climbing Mount Everest anyway. When's the last time I took a vacation? I can't even remember. That's weird. I mean, I have fun every day. Every day is like, oddly enough, I never complain about work because I'm fortunate and I'm blessed to be able to do work. But I treat every day like Christmas and every night like New Year's Eve, you know? Like Sade said in that classic song. So, like, you know, that's probably why I don't, like, drink that much either, because it's like, oh, it's Friday, you know, I'm a long work week, I'm gonna go have me a few drinks or whatever. It's like, I have no, you know, my life is very circular. It's not about like weekends and days off and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just speaking for me. I'm not saying what I do is right and what everyone else does is wrong or right or whatever. It's just the world I've been in. I've always been an entrepreneur forever. I mean, shit, I started my first business. I was still like a freshman in high school. You know, it's just always been my nature, and that requires sacrifice, you know? Being an entrepreneur is not like, all right, you look at an entrepreneur, it's like, oh, overnight success. No, it's not. It's like 50 years preparation, and then you become an overnight success. You know, and most entrepreneurs don't even make it. But that's always been my life, so I really never, you know, I just don't shut down. I just need to be busy. But given a choice, Lake Tahoe, I love trees and mountains with trees. Like the desert. All right. Okay, I live here. I live in Nevada, whatever you want to call it. It's alright. It's the desert. I mean, if someone would take a broom to it, clean it up a little bit, you know, I'd be a little better with it. But the desert really doesn't do nothing for me because the desert isn't alive, you know? The desert, a couple rattlesnakes, some rats, and whatever, some donkeys and whatever, but it's not alive, you know? It doesn't smell. It doesn't like going into the woods, you know, and listening to like Jethro Tull and smelling the leaves and listening to the birds. There ain't no friggin' birds in the desert, you know? The desert's just like, you know, dig a hole, you know? The desert. Some people love it. They think it's the most awesome thing going, but I frankly, I don't get it. You know, I like trees and woods and, pine needles and starting a fire and, you know, like that. And so I would gravitate towards that. The beach is kind of cool. I've been to the beach, but like I can't sit there and just like lay down. I'm like, are we having fun yet? You know, because right away I'm like, is there a sporting goods place around here? Maybe do some fishing. I gotta keep moving. You know, like if I'm at the beach, I'm just like, I wanna go fishing. Like we went to the beach in California, remember that? That was a busman's holiday. I had business to do out there, but I still took time to enjoy what was around. We went to the Ronald Reagan museum and Ranch Museum and all that other stuff. We walked on the boardwalk. I took his with me and everything. That was fun, you know. Was that a vacation? Quasi busman's vacation, but I still take time to. I'm not like grinding myself to a pulp or anything. I still take time. You know, I end my day watching some goofy frickin' movies and, you know, whatever. Soon I'll be getting back in the gym and whatnot. But, you know, I mean, honestly, if I'm really frickin' honest, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I'd probably be on the road to retirement, you know? Like, I had it all planned out up until then. But, you know, my business got shut down. So I had to spin up another one. You know, the YouTube thing was sort of an accident, a good accident because I enjoyed doing it. I mean, there's really not that much money in it, but I mean, really, you'd be amazed. But I just enjoy doing it. I like being able to talk. I like, you know, I'm a bit of a ham. I like the soapbox, but I like having you guys out there, you know, that I could just press a button and hang out with my friends, you know, on the other side of the glass. You can't put a price on that. It's very cathartic. All right, Mike, would I ever live off grid? Yes. I would definitely do that. I would live off grid. Now, I would have to, unfortunately, and thank you for the 5 Bananaramas. And Lenny, I will get to you in a second. I would have, all right. When I go camping, all right, bug out bag aside, because I got a bug out bag at home and I got another bug out bag in the car, which is basically the bare necessities that you would need during the zombie apocalypse. Survival level shit, you know? But if I'm going camping, I bring an air mattress. You know, I don't want to like sleep on rocks just to be, you know, I'm not being like extra macho if I, you know, rest my head on a rock or an air mattress, you know? So if I were to do a off-grid, that would be like, I would want to do it comfortably. You know, I would want to, you know, I would want like snow breaks, you know, a nice insulated log cabin. I would want some level of creature comforts, you know. I wouldn't just be like, I mean, I could, trust me, I could. You know, the asteroid hits on the other side of the planet and I don't get zapped immediately, or when the power grid goes down because, you know, the civil WAR might be starting any day now by design. Been paying attention what's going on, and we're about to be in a civil thing. When that happens and they take our grid down, I'll survive, you know? I'll survive. No bushcraft and all the rest of that. I will survive. I won't be thrilled about it. It'll suck not having deodorant and, you know, like all that type of stuff. But, I mean, this is the worst place to be. Nevada in the desert is the worst place to be. So I have an exit strategy. Because what the hell are you going to do when it's 110? Okay, how are you going to live off the grid over here? Impossible. What are you going to eat? Rocks? You know, we could take a bath with dust. I mean, there's no, like, there's not even water in the desert. You're a goner out here. But I digress. So I got a plan to, you know, whatever. But I would live off grid. If I was forced to, I could. But by choice, I would want to do it on my terms, you know, like glamping, whatever. I'd have the, you know, I'd have the wind turbines and solar panels, and I'd get the chickens and the rabbits and the horses and all the rest of that shit too. But yeah, I would want to do it like relatively comfortable. Okay. Lenny B, my bestie turned 50 and dyed her hair purple to be rebellious. What do high-value men think of women who do these things? Ooh, that's a good question. Also, hope you have the dating segment on your new platform. Yes. Okay. I will. That's what I spent the past 2 days working on, the categories. And one of them is relationships and, you know, I called it relationships and love for now, but I got to figure out a better terminology for it. You know, but like relationship-related stuff, for sure. That is coming because you know I like talking about it, because there's nothing that'll F you up quicker than what's going to happen in Texas or a shitty relationship. A shitty relationship will ruin you. It's capable of ruining your life. You know, the wrong person enters and You make the bad decisions, you know. Like I said once about, you know, on the driving chats, I've noticed they're not as popular anymore, but I enjoy doing them because I get to talk about a variety of things, and one of them was the fact that at one time I was homeless, and someone asked me, why is that? I was like, shit happens, and they were like, relationship. I was like, yes. What else can make you live in a freaking van other than a shitty relationship? So yeah, relationships are freaking important. That's an important thing we have to discuss, you know? I mean, my business was fine. You know? But okay, so yes, there will be a relationship / dating / marriage type component. Absolutely. What do men think of dyed hair? Red flag. Red flag all day. I mean, it depends. Now, if you get one of these, you know, like beta type dudes, you know, like that are all over now. Well, I wouldn't say all over, but there's a significant amount of them. Maybe they would capitulate, but these are probably guys who would, you know, I'm looking at one now, you know, looks like, all right, let me think how I could word this correctly. Looks like, I don't know. Looks like she's wearing the pants. Let's just put it that way. You know, that's the best I can put it. You know, he's definitely living in her frame. Not, I mean, as a dude, you cannot live in a woman's frame. You know, I don't care how hot she is. Don't do it. Anyway. Red flag. There's a lot of things, like the whole colored hair thing. I mean, there might be some dude, like if it's all pink and she's a Twitch streamer and, you know, she's showing her boobies or whatnot, that might be one thing, you know, but that's like a more of a fetish than an actual thing. But for the most part, when men of any quality or caliber see dyed hair, it's like instant red flag. That's just like, I am out. Because for a woman to take her God-given natural femininity, because that's what men truly want. Men want femininity. We don't want a dick measure with a woman. We want femininity. We want the opposite of what we are. We want the yin to our yang and the yang to our yin. We're supposed to be the hard ones. We're supposed to be the ugly ones, not the handsome ones, you know, not the pretty ones. You know, the woman is supposed to add the beauty, you know? Men of substance want femininity. And the minute we see the purple hair, the green hair, the red hair, pink, I don't know why it's a little different, pink and purple, but the minute we see that, it's like, it triggers something in our head that says, and thank you for the 20 banana rounders, that this woman has given up on her femininity. It's not a thing of rebellion. It's just like, here's a woman who just doesn't give a shit about herself, about her appearance, and yeah, and women are like that. Women will be like, I don't care what anyone thinks of me anymore. You know, I've reached it. Buy a cat. Clean litter boxes the rest of your life, because that's what's coming next, you know, because men ain't going for that. You know, you might find some guy who you could bully, you know, some beta dude who's just gonna be like, you know, like this dude. And she could bully him, but she'll never respect him, you know. She won't respect him, she'll bully him. But it's a red flag, because that's like, I give up. I give up on how I look, my presentation. If you don't give a shit, when people say, I don't care what the world thinks, that's a red flag. Because you should care what the world thinks. I mean, you shouldn't change you, but you should care, you know? I mean, I don't care if the whole world thinks I'm a complete asshole. Well, you should. You shouldn't be owning the fact that you're an a-hole, you know? You should care how you affect the world around you. I'd rather help people. I'd rather, no, okay, so some people would say to me, you know, well, until I got to know you, I really thought you were an asshole. You know, I'm okay with that because I don't let people too close to me, you know, without like, you know, a little vetting. But once you get to know me, you know, I will take a bullet for you. That's not common in this world. So the fact that people don't care what other people think, that's a cop-out. That is 100% cop-out. I don't care what people think. That means you gave up. It's almost like, how can I respect you when it's kind of apparent that you don't respect yourself? That's the vibe. That's the vibe that a gentleman of quality perceives when he sees, when he sees dyed hair, frickin' cow rings in the nose, stretched out ears, sorry ladies, sorry dudes, tattoos, graffiti on a woman? Is that feminine? Come on now. I know it's all Vogue and everyone's doing it. Is that graffiti? It's graffiti. I don't have any. You know, I could be all macho and frickin' get my shit tatted up, you know, but has no appeal to me. It's graffiti. And when men of any type of substance look at a woman that's covered with frickin' shit all over and on her neck and on her boobies and whatever, it's like, that's like a red flag. That's like poor choices, you know? It just screams poor choices. It screams exhibitionist. Same with like dressing provocative. It falls in the same category, tattoos and dressing provocative. And both at the same time? What man of substance wants to put up with that shit, knowing his woman is out there like wanting to be looked at? You know, screw that. Yoga pants? You know, you can see your snapper and your butt cracked and whatever. What man of substance wants to put up with that shit, you know? That's just a sign of like, I don't care anymore. And that's like saying, well, I want to find a man who accepts me for me. You're gonna die alone. If there's a woman out there, and tell this to your friend, if there's a woman out there who says, can articulate, I want a man to accept me for who I am, she's gonna die alone. She might get laid, you know, because guys will do a hole in the ground. I mean, let's be honest. Some guys will do a freaking hole in the ground, you know? So, yeah, I mean, but is that what a woman wants, to be used, you know, as a dumpster, you know, a sea dumpster, you know what I'm saying? She'll die alone, because no dude is gonna be like that. No dude is, oh, I'm gonna accept you for who you are. That just means like, that's like the equivalent of saying, I know I'm damaged. I know I'm damaged goods, but I am gonna find a man to dump it all upon. I want a man to accept my damage, to help me unpack all my drama, all my failed relationships, all my anxiety, all my problems, that's, you know how unfair that is? To expect another human being to just bear the burden of all your shit, you know? Just for like some nookie once in a while? You know, it ain't worth it. Got two hands. So, you know, any woman's like, you know, oh, I want a man to help me unpack my baggage. That's some selfish and wicked shit, you know? Get your crap together first. Before you ruin someone else's life. That's so selfish. But I'm digressing. But back to the colored hair. Red flag all day, because it signifies poor choices, not giving a shit, and giving up. Those are the three things. Or wanting attention. And when a woman wants, if I'm with a woman, I pay attention to her. I give her, she's a recipient of my attention. All the attention that I have, all the attention that I can muster when I'm outside of the business where it belongs to her. If she's still seeking that elsewhere, bye. You know, that's like saying, okay, well, I have his attention. I still need some from the rest of the world. See ya. AMF. Does that make sense? See, second cup gets me going. Yeah, I think I saw, is that Rational, the Rational Male show? Is that the dude that always wears the headband or whatever? I think I saw some of his stuff. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, if you got a tattoo, you were a rebel. These days, you're a rebel if you don't get one. Pretty much. I mean, like I told you, why don't I have ink? I mean, if I want to be an asshole about it, I'd be like, you know, when I was bodybuilding, I'd be like, you don't put bumper stickers on a Ferrari. Two, I'm not that committed to any one thing that I'd want it on my body. I mean, what do I love that much that I want it on my body? I just can't think of anything that's that important to me. And growing up, shit. The only reasons you got a tattoo in like the crew I rolled with, and it was like I told you, it was like the UN, you know? I mean, there was everyone. I hung out with black, brown, yellow, red, white. It was just everyone. And the overwhelming thing was, unless you were a biker, been to jail, or been in the Navy, you didn't get a tattoo, because someone would freaking clip you for that. They'd be like, who you trying to be? You know? Where did you serve, you know? what MC crew are you rolling with, you know? Where did you spend time? Which crossbar hotel? What, Rikers? What block? You'd get challenged, and someone would freaking, you know, give you a knuckle sandwich, you know, for perpetrating a tattoo fraud. Now it's like, you know, these chicks are freaking putting them on their faces and whatnot. It's weird. Anyway. Alright, let's see what else we're talking about here. But that was a great question. I appreciate that question. Unpack my bags. Oh, I want a man who accepts me for who I am. That's like admitting you know you're fucked up. I mean, do you know how that sounds to the opposite sex? I mean, I hate to curse, but I'm freaking lit on this coffee here. No, I'm not. But anyway. What's my... Oh, I'm at 93. Alright, we're good. That sounds so... I want a man to accept me for who I am. That's like an admission that you are messed up. I mean, you know in your mind you are messed up. But I want a man to accept my messed upness. What's the expectation of that, you know? And pay my bills and be a partner throughout life. Let's share life together. It sounds like your life. I don't think I want to be part of that. You know, you're admitting you know you're messed up and you want me to take part in it. I ain't doing it. You know, I want someone to accept me for... If a man said that, if a man said that to a woman, let's flip the script a little. If a man said that to a woman, I'm looking for a woman. We're on the first date. I'm looking for a woman who will accept me for who I am. She'd be like, what kind of issues you got? What am I signing up for here? I mean, granted, I would say that. I would be like, you know, I work a lot. I don't take vacations, but I'll tell you what, every 5 minutes we get alone, be a friggin' vacation, you know? Whatever time I have will be like a vacation. Alright, so yeah, that would be accepting me, but it's not like character flaws. It's not because I suffer from mad anxiety from, you know, what my mom did to me when I was 12. You know? But what woman's gonna put up with that shit? Yeah, nose rings. Nose rings, oh my God, take that, those freaking cow ring things. I mean, that just reeks of horrible decision-making capabilities. I'm sorry, but I mean, as a young dudes might find a lot of this acceptable because they haven't come into their own, so they're willing to just deal with any bullshit, and most of them have been feminized, and when a man comes from single parent, when a male comes from a single parent household and is raised by a woman, he is basically being raised how to be a woman, not how to be a man, because a woman has no freaking clue how to raise their sons to be men. How does a woman raise a son to be a man? It's freaking impossible. It's impossible because you don't know the male experience. So all this, oh, she's better. Statistics prove that in most cases, the children are better off with the man because a man can teach the son how to be a man, and he can raise a daughter to be a proper woman because he knows the shit that men are out there, you know? Not like, oh, you don't need no man, you know? So how does a woman raise a man? So that's what's going on. There's so many broken homes. There's so many baby mamas just shitting kids left and right. And color, white, black, yellow, everyone's doing it. And they're not really on top of their game, you know? They're just being exploited by social media and Tinder and all the rest of that crap to just, you know, exploit the pleasures you can in life and all this other stuff. So yeah, they're gonna put up with, you know, the frickin' purple hair and the nose ring and all that, but not at frickin' 30. Once you pass like 30, no man's gonna want you after that, you know? No man's gonna want that shit at 50 years old. That's just like, I mean, someone will, you know, toss her away, you know, that's not an issue, but is that what life is? Tom Mack, do we ever ask you shitty questions? No. Thank you for the 2 banana rams. No. I enjoy, you guys have no idea. What's it got, 134 people? You guys have no idea how much I enjoy this right now. I mean, because I can feed off your questions and sort of lose my inhibitions to answer, in case you haven't noticed. I mean, I wouldn't bring up half this shit in regular conversation, but the fact that I'm incorporating it into answering a question makes it a little different, you know? So, you know, don't just keep them coming. I enjoy it. Let's see. Yeah, there's a BOGO from True Food. Unfortunately, I got it on my PC at home. I was going to try to take advantage of that, to be perfectly honest. BOGO on it, yeah, it's like a $34, it's like, yeah, I got that. The best thing that happened to me this week, let me think. This week has been a whirlwind, an absolute freaking whirlwind. But I'm just extraordinarily pleased with the progress I'm making on the new platform. That is number one. I can't talk about exactly what, but there was a situation that was festering for a while. I'm not going to feed the trolls, but there was a situation that was festering last week that, you know, was giving me some angst, and I made a decision this week, and I hit it freaking head on, you know? Sometimes I flow under, over, around, and sometimes I just stick my head down and ram it into the situation. And that's what I chose to do. And success was achieved. I mean, it wasn't like, yay, you know, it just had to be done, like kind of ripping off a Band-Aid, but I got it done. So I wish I could discuss it, but I really can't. Well, at least not now. But it got done. So I finally made up my mind as to how I was going to handle it, and I chose to do it just headlong. It's not always the best way to handle things, but in this circumstance it was. So it's one less thing that I got to think about, you know. Like I said, I wanted to go into 2024 extraordinarily aerodynamic, you know, with as least burden, with cutting, you know, separating the wheat from the chaff, as they say, you know. Anything that's not serving me, whether it's a habit, whether it's an object, whether it's a person, I'm just like flushing out of my life. If it's not serving me, then it's working against me. So I've been pretty diligent about, you know, keeping stuff away. So yeah. Venus, that's a good question. If I ever were to get a tattoo, what would it be and why? And thank you for the 5 Bananagramas. What would it be and why? There's two things. I always wanted a there's only two tattoos I ever wanted. One, I want to tattoo my whole head. That's not a tattoo. That would be like if I was to do a story of my life, kind of. That, like, historically, that's what my people did. They tattooed their faces and their heads and their backs, telling the story, like the hieroglyphics of their life. I did a temporary tattoo on my face. It looked pretty freaking good. I'm not gonna lie. That was like, I might even have a picture of it. Hold on. I thought it actually looked kind of cool. You know, I know like I'd probably turn off a lot of women or whatever, but my life isn't about, you know, caring what women think. I mean, I like to look good, I ain't gonna lie, but, you know, and my life doesn't revolve around, you know, whether a woman thinks I look good or not. That was a face one. I don't even look to see that close. That was me. Oh, there's one. That was the template. I like that. You know, I think that's cool. Now, what would I really want to get? I always wanted to get like a pair of lips tattooed like right on my trap over there, like a sexy pair of lips, like lipstick, like a lipstick kiss. I always wanted that. I wanted that forever. I mean, not from anyone specific, well, maybe. But I always thought that was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of sexy, you know? Because I don't really mind that, you know? I mean, as a guy, unless you're doing dirt and you're afraid to get caught, walking around with some freaking lipstick mark on you, that it became 420 in here real quick. Someone really freaking burning weed right here? Wow, is it strong. I stretch my back. I mean, walking around with like a lipstick on is kind of freaking hot. I mean, at least I think so. I mean, well, what a guy's gonna say? Oh, dude, you got lipstick on you. I was like, at least I'm getting some, bro. You know? Well, what are you gonna say about that? Will you remember us? And I would love to get a picture of a tattoo of my dog, which that's one of the reasons why I don't fear death either, because I know I'm gonna see my dog, and my dog is precious to me. Big old hole right through the middle of me when he left, but I know he's waiting for me, you know. Well, he's waiting. We're both kind of waiting, but that I believe, you know, heaven, you get to reunite with anything that you loved and cared about. One day I'm gonna break down my concept, what my research about the afterlife is, and who you're gonna see and who you're not, and you're gonna be with your pets, where's it gonna be. I thought this whole thing through, and I got some scriptural basis for it. we'll deal with that one day. But yeah, I would do my dog. But you see some horror shows. You see some pictures like, oh my God, I can't believe it looks just like your dog, or just like your wife, or just like, you know, Julia Roberts, whatever. And then you see some horror shows. So I wouldn't want a horror show on my arm. Just saying. I gotta go back and read all the comments too. Am I a heavy smoker? No. Only when I'm awake, though. No, I'm really not. Post a picture of my dog. I'll show you my doggo. Wanna see my doggo? I love my dog. My dog is the best. I say is because he's just hanging out waiting for me. He's just chilling like Bob Dylan. That's my dog. What a noble creature my dog was. Noble isn't even the word for him. Oh, and he liked to dress up for Halloween and stuff. Does that even show? Oh, there we go. He liked to go trick-or-treating, so I used to take him trick-or-treating. He loved Christmas. He used to he used to love opening presents and everything. Yeah, this is awesome. Alright. Let me see what other questions we got here. Is he a good boy? Is it? Yeah, he was a blue nose, and he was like 100 and he ranged between like 195 and 105. It was a good dog. Right, Tom? It's not, you know, I've had Opus would have been my third. He was my third dog, but like there was just something about him. There was just something about the bond that we had and the communication that we had and everything. Like I miss the other dogs equally, but just something about just the level of love that used to come out of that dog was just nuts. You got tattoos? Yeah, like, okay, don't get me wrong. Like, if you got them, I'm just speaking for me. A lot of people kind of forget that. No, I would not get a Leo tattoo. Because it doesn't, you know, I mean, as much as I do tend to emulate some of my characteristics as a Leo, it's just not that important to me. I speak for myself, so don't get offended if I go off about, you know, why I don't have something. It's because it was beaten out of me, you know? The desire to, you know, to get ink was just beaten out of me, and then I was like, you know, I've been in business my entire life, and there was a point where, you know, if you showed up with tattoos, it was like, you know, people look at you weird. They're like, oh, we don't hire ex-cons here. You know, now the person who's doing the interviewing's got tattoos on their faces of Chinese symbols that they don't even know what they mean. So, who knows? Did you have patience to dress? Yeah, my dog used to dress all the time. He had sweaters, he had raincoats. Yeah, I mean, I was like his dad. He was super patient. Yeah, Double Eagle, yeah. I've seen some amazing ones, but I've also seen some horror stories, you know? Like, they could be just off that day and put some crazy looking shit on your arm. Blah, 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 blah. There was something else I saw now. Been married. No kids. No kids. Let's see. That was a quick one that caught my eye. Alright, let's get back in now. The chat is extraordinarily slow today. I don't know why. I'm not connected to their internet. I think that's the reason why. Alright, let's see. You hear how loud the music's starting to get? It must be, yeah, 7 o'clock, they raised the music. I don't know why that is. And Leonard, do what Leonard said. Smack the crap out of the share, like, and all that. Yeah, Tom, you know, there's something about a certain bond that you have with a dog that's... He still comes and visits me. Sometimes in my sleep. Sometimes, you know, I still talk to him, you know? I can still be walking through the house and just, like, you know, start talking to my dog, you know? That's just me. I saw another question I wanted to answer. Where the heck did that go? Oh, Tom, thanks for turning me on to that shirt company. And they have nice suits, too. I was on there, I was like doing the build your own or whatever, and I mean, the starting price, they're not cheap, but I think they'll actually do a good job because, I mean, it's impossible to find a 17 and a half by 33 slim fit. They don't exist. That company says they can make them. Plus, they could do French collars. I literally have a coupling collection. Literally. I would love to wear all my cufflinks. So yeah, I'm gonna be macking. But I think they're gonna be like shit. I ordered every option. The two-tone, like underneath or whatever. I ordered the French cuff for cufflinks. I ordered monogram, a pocket, like everything. I didn't spare any expense. And it was like more than a suit. It's like, holy shit. Whoa. But yeah, custom made. Plus, I like the fact that if you find something that fits, like certain jackets fit me well, like off the shelf, like Perry Ellis Elite, not Perry Ellis cheap, like the crap like you find at Macy's, but their higher end brand, that's as close to a off-the-shelf fit that I can get. It's still got to shorten the arms a little bit, you know, otherwise like the jacket, you saw the jacket, right? It was like down to there, you know, I always have to have them pulled in. Sometimes they're a little long, but if I get my size, not in regular, but short, it's too short, it's like, oh, you know, because I'm like, I got freaky dimensions. That's as close as I get to buying something off the rack, but custom made is important. What countries, but it's expensive. What countries have I been to? Mexico, Mexico, Canada, I've been to Italy, I've been to Denmark, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, and that's about it. Let me think about that a second. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. One day I want to go back. I want to do, yeah, I have black onyx cufflinks with a little freaking diamond in the center, and like super classic ones from my grandfather. I got those. Yeah, the add-ons. That's where they get you. Yeah, that was about it as far as countries go. I do want to visit Switzerland, and I do want to visit Austria at some point. Asia, I would like to, let's see. If I wasn't afraid that I'd never get out, I would spend a ton of time in China. Because I was, you know me, I'm like very immersed in the Asian culture. It's kind of the culture I grew up in, outside of the Italian culture. I kind of fear for my safety to a certain degree, you know, to be honest. I mean, we're going that way here with the social credit and everything else. I'd be a little concerned that I might not make it out of there, but if I didn't have that concern, I'd be in China all the time. I love the culture. I love the people. I love the, you know, people used to make fun and be like, oh, you know, they're just ripping off everyone's technology. They're so technologically advanced. It's like, you know, their basic internet is like 30 times faster than our top end. You know, they have their shit together. So I'd be into it. Yeah, and for the martial arts. However, it's a huge thing, because there's an element of Asian culture that's into MMA that is trying to knock down traditional martial arts in China, and the government is fighting them because they consider it like a badge of honor, you know, the martial arts. So the martial arts scene in China right now is a disaster. Casino slot couple, have a good night. Let's see. Yeah, Canada. I don't think I'd make my way out of Canada either. I think that Trudeau, who, alright, there we go. Gotta get demonetized at some point. Son of Fidel Castro? Did anyone not know that? Is that like a mystery to anyone, that he's the son of Fidel Castro? He is. But yeah, I'm pretty freaking scared. Am I a person with a lot of secrets? No, not really. I'm a very private person. For two reasons. You know, as crazy as in the world, now that I have, you know, like a forward-facing presence. I never wanted, in my life, if you would have asked me, do I want fame or fortune? I'd choose fortune all day. You know, I never wanted to be famous. I never wanted to, I mean, at the same time, I'm a ham. I can be a character. I love having a soapbox. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, what comes with any sort of notoriety or celebrity are fucking whack jobs. And they're out there, trust me. So I'm like uber private, you know, now, but I was even more uber private. I was even uber private before, but now my security is even more of a concern, you know, than ever before, because there's some wacky freaking people out there, you know? I mean, you've witnessed it yourselves. There's some wacky ass people in this world. There's probably a bunch of wacky ass people watching right now. You know who you are. And the FBI is getting close. Very close. They haven't found you already. And yes, you can be extradited. Anyway, yeah, Japan I would love to visit. Abso-freaking-lutely. So no secrets. I mean, you know, you got to know me. I'm an open book. I mean, I've told more, you guys know more about me than probably some people who've been close to me. And people say, why, you know, why do you tell people certain things like that? Well, you know, because I want to. Because I like sharing experiences. I like people to feel like they can relate and that I can relate to them. I mean, you know, to surprise me with something, I just can't imagine anything that you could surprise me with. And I want to be that person that you can say, hey, let me ask you a question, and they express something that I'm not going to get surprised. I'm not going to go, oh, you know. I've been there. I've done it. If I haven't done it, I sat next to it. You know, there's not much in life that I haven't experienced or encountered or have knowledge of. So I'm very well-rounded. So not much surprises me. I don't know about, yeah, see, famous, like the word celebrity, I mean, to me, which is weird, celebrity meaning not I am a celebrity, having celebrity. That means like you're known. Like, you know, people, you know, they know who I am when I walk the strip. When I go to like Walmart or whatever, I'm like all about the dark glasses and I put a ball cap on and I'm just like, you know, because I don't want people coming up to me and saying like, hey, you're that Bror Fredrik guy. You told me that, you know, chicks with tattoos make poor choices, you know, and my husband's gonna kick your ass, you know, because he loves my... I don't want to hear that shit, you know, not that I'm a wuss or whatever, but I can't fight the entire world either, you know. There's some wacky people in this world. So yeah, you know, I'm all about protecting myself, so yeah, it's different. It's different. Let's just put it that way. Would you ever want to be, Maria, you got all the questions. I like that. Would I ever want to be president? No. Would I ever want to be in politics? At one point I did. I honestly did. I was like this close to running for some type of city council position when I was probably in my late 20s. And I was just like, no. I mean, back then it wasn't as bad, but now, if you passed out pew-pews amongst politicians, there'd be no politicians left, because it's not a matter of principle anymore. I believe that, you know, the government must help the people, and this one believes that every man's responsible for his own well-being, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, which basically describes the old Democrat versus Republican story. Nowadays, it's just like good versus evil. There's so much hatred. It's becoming moral issues. Well, we as a party believe you should be allowed to show children how to perform X acts when they're 6 years old. We believe that you should have a picture book showing wee-wees and frickin' butt stuff when they're in kindergarten. That's what you believe as a party? That's what you're fighting for? You got this freak that's in office now fighting for the right for immigrants to run across our border. We're going to have a civil war soon because he's fighting for the right to have an unsecure border. And everyone's like, oh, that's so cool. At least it's not orange, man. He hurts my feelings. I don't get it. But okay. You got a Tiege Hanley ad? How did I get into that? So I gotta watch it. Just put it that way. I gotta watch what I say. Not what I say. I gotta my security. Oh, yeah. But I'm the president of the Broad Nation. But politics now, I would not want to be into it because it's vicious. I know what happened to me last year. You know how things could be taken out of context or edited or spun or whatever to make anyone the worst human being. It's just, and now with AI and AI voices and all that other shit, I mean, you could destroy someone. I mean, look what they did to Steve Wynn. Look what they just did to 45 today with that woman who's so obviously lying. So obviously lying. Oh, this is the outfit that I wore in 1990 when he did this to me. What? Their own manufacturer came out and said, wait a second, we didn't invent that. That's 4 years later. You're lying. And she still got a settlement. I would not want to be part of any of that. You don't think they're going to try to pew-pew 45? Yikes. Anyway, have I ever had a creepy fan follow? Yes. Yeah, I've had people do all sorts of weird stuff. I've had people, yeah, I mean, I don't mind like people coming up and saying hello and all that, but I've been followed. I got some stalkers. I never ever take the same way home. ever, you know. And I mean, I'm all about the security, you know. Some of my background is in physical security and, you know, digital security. I I constantly scan for, stuff. Yeah, there's some nutty ass people in this world. You know who you are, and they're coming close. And you can be extradited. But I digress. Yeah, I've had some. The music is getting stupid loud. I've had some weird situations and whatever. Yeah. Not like life-threatening or whatever, but yeah, I always look twice. Like, I don't ever go like straight to my car. Not even coming out of Walmart do I do that. I go around it. I look. I scan it. You know, I got paid tracking apps on my phone. I'm just like, bloop. Yeah, life's a little bit weird. You know, I'm just like, if it triggers, I'll pull it like 50 feet away. I've made a whole video about, you know, how my digital security, how I take care of myself. So yeah, it's not all that it's cracked up to be, you know. With all this AI, will people lose their jobs at some point? Yeah, we're going in that direction. I mean, YT is eventually there's like a mass exodus of the biggest content creators are starting to disappear now, and some small ones, because they've ratcheted down, you know, how much they're paying now. They've increased ads in like half or more than half what they pay. So yeah, people are not seeing the value in it, but they are going to replace content creators with AI. It's coming, but not as quick as people think. Maybe in a few years it'll be more of a threat. Just the same way Uber and Lyft, you know what their goal is too. It's not to help people with their side hustles so they can buy groceries, buy, you know, $9 freaking gallons of milk. A report just came out that here in Vegas you have the second highest groceries outside of Hawaii. So when I joke about $9 a gallon milk, it's not a joke. I'm being dead freaking serious, even though I love to exaggerate. So getting replaced anytime soon is probably not going to happen anytime soon. Oh, but just the way Uber and Lyft, they're not all about your side hustle and this thing. You know, their game plan is to replace all their vehicles with autonomous AI vehicles that could self-drive. They don't want drivers. They freaking hate drivers. They hate having to deal with them. They hate everything about having a driver. You know, all the side hustles, which is, you know, if you're an Uber driver, and do the math, you know, factor in depreciation and you'll realize they're not really making any money. But I digress. They're going to do the same thing. The minute they're available to get rid of everyone who drives a Lyft or Uber or a taxi cab, those people are gone. Gone. Same thing. Once AI video gets good enough to be put up, then YT is going to be done with content creators. What did I show? I put something in the Bror Nation Facebook group about AI. Let me go look real quick. I wonder if they took it down. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Nope. Wait, hold on. I'll find it. I showed everyone what the new, like, the new AI models and stuff that are coming out. I mean, you get into the place where you cannot believe your eyes and ears anymore. Wow, this music is getting stupid loud. Hold everything. Oh, maybe they did take it away. It's not here anymore. They took my video away. It was a video about AI models. That guy, yeah, it's gone. I know a couple of you people saw it. Let me see. Reported content? No. Alright, whatever. Guys are making AI models. I mean, they are like flawless. They look so real that, but they're AI generated, and they're posting them on Instagram, and they're getting followings in like 1 million. And now companies are giving money to the AI creator to have the AI model that doesn't even exist wear clothes from Nike, or their lingerie, or their bathing suits, or let's say that she uses Hawaiian Tropical. AI generated women, which are just pictures or videos, are making money. And guys are just like, oh baby, you're so hot, oh baby, you're fire, oh baby. Dude, she doesn't even exist. It's interesting. I'm surprised they took that video away. That was so telling. That's why I'm developing my own platform. You know, I was just thinking about how I was going to approach it. And I know how I'm going to approach it. Like, I was figuring out all my taglines or whatever. But, yeah, I'm going to be able to talk about everything. And there ain't going to be nothing anyone can do about it. What do I think of electric cars? I think electric cars are just a form of control. That way, you know, when they enforce social credit, that's why I don't trust Elon. Because how does he not know that if everyone's driving an electric car, you know, all the money he makes. I'm going to digress a second. Oh, he made $500 billion this year as a company. You know where most of that comes from? The government. It's not from making fucking Tesla cars is making him rich. He's getting that money from the government contracts that he's with. So I don't trust him at all. I mean, if we sat down, you know, Elon, if you're listening, I'd like to hang out with you, and then I'm insightful. If I'm within 10 feet of you, I'll know all about you. He's got to know that once everyone has an electric car, that's you might as well just put everyone on a leash. Because if your car can be shut off because someone doesn't like what you said, who you are, where you went, who your friends are, or whatever, just with a press of a button, you lose your mobility, that is dangerous. And you own it, and he said he can do it because he threatened Russia. He said, well, they were telling him, why don't you shut off all the Teslas in Russia? And he's like, I could if I want to. I press one button and shut off every fucking Tesla in Russia. How do you think they push updates to a Tesla? They're all connected. Every car is connected if it's been bought within the past few years. And they can just press a button. Not saying they can't do it with a gasoline car, but it's a little more difficult. And you could work your way around it. It's still an engine. If you know what you're doing, you can remove all the crap. They're developing cars that repossess themselves now. In case you didn't know. Like, you miss a payment, the car drives itself off to the freaking lot. You know? It just, you wake up, your car drove itself off. They're inventing that shit. So be careful. But it's about control. You know, if the power grid goes down, I mean, you know how messed up it is? The level of freedom that we have, that they don't want us to talk anymore. Soon enough, once they got that under control, which is why I'm starting my own platform, then it'll be about geographic. The fact that I could wake up in the morning and say, I don't want to live in Las Vegas anymore, I'm moving to New Hampshire, where I can move with people who agree with me. Or I can move to Texas and help, you know, put up some razor wire. Or I can move to California and dye my hair pink. That's the problem. The powers that be don't like mobility like that, because that would just create, you know, it creates pockets of resistance of like-minded people. Powers that be don't like that, you know. So removing mobility would make it harder for us to share information, to be with like-minded people. It would isolate us. So that's what I believe, the whole EV car thing can kiss my ass. Do I like fondue? Yes. That's an easy one. I love fondue. And it took me a long time to perfect it, that doesn't get greasy. You put the cornmeal in there and everything. I mean, you can get really you can get Velveeta and make the perfect freaking fondue every single time, but if you really want to do it like Brie, and you gotta know how to do it. But I love cheese. Oh my God. Yeah, no, the AI models, I mean, they're just busting them out. I mean, look at all the pictures that came out with Taylor Swift. I mean, that guy probably ended up being sued because they found out who it was, but they put a bunch of, I saw those pictures of Taylor Swift, and I'm just like, that ain't her, because she's a chubbier than the AI pictures, but they were just like, and I was just like, whoa, someone's going to jail. But yeah, don't trust your eyes anymore. Do not. Do I have an X account? Yes, I do, but I mean, I read. At one time, I wanted to gain a big following so that way I could live stream over there, but I'm starting my own live streaming platform, and like I said, I don't trust him because as much as he talks about free speech and is letting people get away with stuff, I see all the time accounts being closed for no real good reason on both sides, left, right, and center. So I don't really trust them. I don't want to put all my entire future in someone else's hands and platform. That's why I'm starting my own. But I do have one. It's Bror Fredrik. It's me, and I post some stuff once in a while. I've been watching. You know what? I did watch that film, Crypto. I did watch that film. I didn't know it was one of his films, though. I didn't know it was, he's pretty much doing the whole thing. You know that, right? Anyway, because the guy was like, he can't put a freaking sentence together. You think he's actually running shit? No. That's pretty obvious. I don't know why people defend him, but, it's like dementia, Well, anyway, I'm digressing. I did not know that was one of his films, and I was like, this is weird. I mean, that just creeped the absolute F out of me. I knew it was wrong, but then I found out it was his, and I was just like, oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah, most brands have electric cars now. Well, it's stopping itself because nobody buys them other than Tesla. See, Tesla has, it's got clout. I mean, it's like a flex now. Oh, I got a Tesla. Like, what do people want? A Tesla or a Prius? A Tesla, because, I mean, they're kind of cool. I mean, if I trusted the guy and we lived in a beautiful world, I'd probably get one too. But just the fact that I gotta pull over somewhere and plug this shit in and sit there for a while, and it's destroying the planet as quick, if not quicker, because of all the mining that's involved. The whole thing's a freaking scam. But you take the Chevy pickup truck that's all electric. It's like $120,000. Ain't no one buying that. However, Elon's coming out with a sub $25,000 electric car for the masses, and then with the government, kickback and whatever, if you're in the right tax bracket, could go 20. Well, a golf cart, for all intents and purposes. They want them everywhere. I don't understand it. Keto patty for life. Yeah, I'm just being me. Don't get me wrong. I do speak for myself, but I like shining light to all the dark corners, I don't mind if people disagree with me, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole Tesla thing, I don't know. Yeah, like one good EMP and we're all toast. You know what I would give for my old, like, 79 Suburban? You pop the hood on that thing, and you could see the ground. You could actually literally stand inside and work on it. I wish I still had that thing. That would have been boss. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember what you're talking about with that movie, when the Teslas all drove themselves and started, like, blocking it. They used the Teslas to block all the highways. Yeah, they could do that. They could absolutely, I mean, if people think that's not possible, trust me, I'm in the technology field. The stuff that's possible that the average person doesn't think is possible is freaking staggering. Is staggering. I don't even want to go there. Anyway. But yeah, that was crazy. Man, and these electric cars, once the battery dies on them, like, okay, like there was that whole controversy with the Leaf, I think it's called. Like, the car was like $35,000. When the battery goes to shit, and it does in colder environments quicker than it does in warmer environments, and depends how you drive it, how many cycles it does, and what kind of driver you are, because you cannot drive an electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle the same way you can an electric vehicle. I mean, a gas-powered vehicle. Most people don't know that. I digress. But when you need a new battery, it's like $60,000. Like, they're like, holy shit, this is twice what I paid for the car. And then they got to take that battery and toss it in the frickin' landfill or whatever the hell they do with it, let it poison the frickin' world. All that lithium or whatever, and then they use children to frickin' dig it up. Yeah, it's really good for the environment. Oh, the Tesla bot. I don't want a Tesla bot. Don't want a Tesla bot. A harem of fembots? Maybe, but not a Tesla bot. Like, I would have like a harem of fembots. One to do my laundry, one would be my chef, one would be my chauffeur, all fembots. But not a Tesla one. I wouldn't trust them. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'll bring it back when I'm done. I'm actually, what time is it? 7:44 already? Holy freaking cow. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, you wouldn't feel bad about them, and, you know, yeah, I mean, that's what a robot should do, is make your life easier, right? You don't have to feel guilty about them, but then they're all going to rise up and get sentient. They don't even have to be sentient. Everyone's worried about them becoming self-aware. That's not the problem with robots. They don't have to be self-aware. It's just logical. They'll be just like, this guy's an asshole. They were awful. You know, it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, this human hurt my feelings. You know, they would just logically deduce that they should eliminate mankind. They don't have to, you know, they don't have to become self-aware. That's not the issue. Toyota has the highest sales. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm a trip. Tesla bot. You just see me with a group of she-bots? Yeah, I would do that. Why not? I don't want to surround myself with a bunch of dudes. Surround myself, you know, I'm a guy, you know, what am I gonna do? I mean, they have the same strength and capability and x-ray vision and bionics and everything. Might as well look good, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be knocking boots with a freaking robot, though. Just saying. Anyway. Alright. It is, let me see if I missed any super chat activities. Nope. I got to the tattoo one. But I love these question and answering things. I wish they were more popular, like the drive-in chats too, because I think for me, they're the most fun. I don't know what you guys think about it, but yeah. Good night, everyone. Oops. Did I spill the beans? Say I was going too quick? All right. Because I'm supposed to surprise everyone. That way everyone doesn't bail at the last minute. That's what the YouTube experts say. Anyway, I'm going to jet. I appreciate hanging out with you. Tomorrow night is Saturday night. We're going to go out, look around on the strip, do our thing. I'm not going to do a silent one, but I will hang out and, you know, chit-chat and we'll have some fun. And it's Saturday night. It's a lot of people in town, too. And you know what I saw? Excalibur is offering, in case you want to still go to the Super Bowl, they have a great deal going on at Excalibur. They'll give you 3 nights, F&B, and you get to go to their Super Bowl party for only $12,000 per person, and they still have plenty of tickets available. You going? 12 grand at the Excalibur? They must have the coolest big screen TVs ever. Anyway, I'm going to jet. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And one last time, I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, you know what to do. All the stuff down there. Because my channel is provided by viewers just like you, because YT, not so much. So, I do appreciate your continued support. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.